Hello, I'm Jessica.
I'm Justin, and on today's episode, we're watching Wet Hot American Summer.
More like Wet Pot American Summer. Alright? It's hot out and we're smoking. Hey. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I bought it at the liquor store.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Wait, is it actually on?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Really? Wait, are we gonna do it again?
No,
Let's do
we're
one more.
killing
No.
it.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to the Saturday Doobie Feature. See, I have to get that voice. I have to get that voice going.
What?
You know?
What voice?
I didn't even clear it. On today's episode, we're watching a very beloved film for both of us. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Wet Hot American Summer. It was a paragon of my youth.
Yeah.
When was the first time you saw this movie?
Okay, so the first time I saw this movie, it was a little too close to home, so I did not think it was funny. Because I was like 14 and had been to camp.
Yeah, oh,
and
so
I
how
was
many
like, this
years
is
of summer
funny,
camp?
but like I don't get it.
See, I went to
and then I got high and watched it like 5 years later and was like,
I went to a summer camp, so a little bit of it was lost on me because it wasn't. Did you go to a sleepaway camp?
I went to a few day camps as a kid, and then I went to sleepaway summer camp, Jewish camp, like way too late in the game.
Most
like
all
at
the
like
kids were
16,
Jewish.
17 when you're supposed to be like a counselor. I was like, I'm going to camp.
Oh, I was a CIT. I was a CIT for a while. So yeah, those lineages ran very deep for us. So we have very personal connections to this. So you really understand, you know, the here. Well, let's find one of these. One of these. I'm gonna pack one of these.
One of these things is not like the other.
From
One of
Hyperion
these things
Healing,
is
by the way.
packed.
Thank you, Hyperion Healing. We want to say thank you for that. Pack the dealy buddy over here. We have some. Do you want to tell the people what the strain is?
Oh yeah, that
today?
one looks dope. Let's do that.
Yeah, I think I have some of it ground up over here.
It is Leatherface glue.
We got some Leatherface glue. They say it's in.
I was gonna say, fun fact, it's what Leatherface uses to keep his face on.
I'm pretty sure that was actually blood. That was actually blood and some other substances from the human body that we're not going to say here. They say it's an indica, though. I think an indica is nice and good for getting stoned around the campfire where this movie starts. You know, it takes place on the last day of Camp Firewood, the last day of a summer camp excursion and going through the lives and loves of these characters. It's really just a hysterical, nonsensical romp, I guess you would say.
Everyone is so good in it. Like, it's unbelievable.
Like,
it
at
has
the time,
so many of my favorite...
David Hyde Pierce gives an amazing performance. Janine Garofalo, obviously. Like, a lot of people from The State, if you're familiar with The State or Stella. Like, I was into them. I think that's how I found out about the movie in the first place. I, like, saw the cover and I was like, oh, I know a couple of those people.
My, like, first personal hero, Molly Shannon.
Another amazing performance.
She's
borderline creepy.
She's like my favorite. She's like one of the. She does physical comedy so well.
Yeah, she really
is
gives
what
it
I'm
up.
trying to say, but I'm already very high.
She really gives it up as Gail. This Leatherface goo. Oh, you're rolling a blunt. I like barely realized that, and I'm like sitting here holding my dealy buddy. I apologize about that. We could probably, if we wanted to blame someone, we would blame Dr. Norms. We blame you, Dr. Norms, for making us forgetful. Thank you for that. We appreciate it very much. Your hash-based goods. No, I'm trying to blot out this mindless existence. Have you seen the news? Come on.
Yeah, but you know what's good for distractions? Movies.
Marijuana. I was gonna say, but no. It's a classic. You know, now that Netflix. I mean, it is a modern classic for me. There aren't really many other comedies I think that stand up to the laugh consistency and the amount of actual great set pieces or quotable moments for me. But then, you know, now you have the Netflix prequel series, you have the sequel series, which both great ideas on paper, but I'm not a huge fan of some of the execution.
I love the prequel.
Yeah.
I'll say it. I love the prequel.
That was your preferred one?
That's the one that came out first, right? Yeah, I think it's a genius idea to do the first day of camp since you do the last day of camp. Because there's so much stuff set up, and you can, like, pick it up and rearrange it and make it as insane as you want to.
Actually, am I passing you this, Tilly buddy?
Sure.
The thing about that format, though, is, like, if you're going to limit yourself to that,
dumb.
Make another movie, though. Like, keep it contained. The movie, for me, Wet Hot American Summer is so funny because it's so random. You know, there's so many great random characters. Like, one of the best characters in the movie is literally a can. So, like, a can of soup.
John H. Benjamin.
Well, yeah, of course. John H. Benjamin, who's just funny and everything. Like, you know, and we watched Flintstones a couple weeks ago. Like, I need John H. Benjamin to be the voice of an Archer movie, possibly with, like, John Hamm as Archer or something like that. Like, I think that would be funny. But he's a voiceover. It can be played by a can.
I don't love Archer.
No, I don't.
It's good.
No, honestly, I don't love Archer either. I just think I love that idea.
I don't need it.
I love that idea. The more so. But like, so then you turn a really funny 2-hour movie, slightly less than 2 hours, into this like series of like 8 episodes of 22 minutes. I think it kind of over-explained things, and I think when you over-explain comedy, it's never really a good thing. It's never as funny, and I don't want to say it diminishes. It doesn't diminish Wet Hot in any way, because I could still watch it and laugh at all the same things, knowing what happens with the characters. Oh yeah, we have our own lighters, guys. Knowing that, but I mean, and then you go into the and that was what the concept of that, like the 10-year reunion was always like one of my favorite jokes and like the whole thing, like, oh, I have something that day, I got to change it. I've already changed it twice, but then. Well,
let's say 10, so we get there by 11. No, we're adults. We should be on time.
Because we're gonna be in our mid to late 30s by then, But then it's like when you actually see the execution, maybe it's just like I have that lived up to in my head, and I have so many high expectations.
See, I think I went into it thinking it was going to be terrible. So I was like, this is going to be cheesy, this is going to be bad, and then I was like, oh, I love nostalgia, and repetition is hilarious.
But I appreciate the effort. Like, everyone really got back together, and I appreciate that, minus Bradley Cooper, even though that was a hilarious joke for Adam Scott, to have. And that's probably like my favorite part of the prequel series anyway. If you haven't seen it, they couldn't get Bradley Cooper, I'm assuming, which, this movie has been discussed on Inside the Actors Studio. Did you ever see the Bradley Cooper episode of Inside the Actors Studio?
No.
The day that they filmed... I've
only seen Will Ferrell make fun of Inside the Actors Studio.
The day that they filmed the scene, I saw a clip on YouTube, whatever, Bradley Cooper said the day that they filmed the scene of him, like, getting boned in the outhouse.
Yeah.
That was his graduation day from college.
Yeah, no, well, there's a documentary on Netflix as well.
Forgo that day.
Yeah. Where, like, there's a documentary on Netflix called Hurricane of Fun, and it shows what a fucking disaster that set was.
Yeah, and raining all the time, constantly. You're filming at some, like, probably haunted summer camp. Let's be honest.
I mean, they're all stars now, but, like, they were all just like, yeah, let's try to do a thing.
Let's take a school bus up there and eat sandwiches and try to do, but that's, I think, banding together, and that actual, like, you could tell everyone gave 120% in the movie, and that's why it stands up so well still.
Commits so hard.
Yeah.
Amy and who were we just talking about?
Janine Garofalo?
Nope.
Everyone commits so hard.
Bradley Cooper.
Oh, Bradley Cooper.
But I love them back and forth because, like, at camp, I would go to, like, the drama installations.
Oh, I mean, and true.
And,
those
like,
people
they're the best worst.
Those people in the film, too, they weren't, like, big stars by then or anything, but Michael Showalter, like, really carries the movie as Coop. Is, like, one of my favorite all-time comedy, beloved
Coop.
characters. Plus Andy.
Coop's the worst.
Paul. Yeah, no, he is the worst. But that's what's the best about.
Coop's the worst.
But like, for he's perfectly cast in that role. It's the best.
He's like
reactions. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And like, and I don't even care that you're late for school. And it's like just little things like that. Maybe it's the Jew in me that like loves that. I don't know.
And yeah, I know it's.
And the ending too. Like, you have such a ridiculous ending that really lives up to the ridiculousness of the entire movie.
My favorite scene is when the counselors have their, like, hour out.
Yeah, exactly. And then to button that, it's so hard to button a great scene or montage like that, but that button of just like, it's great to leave town, even just for an hour, is like, that's comedy. Like, comedy is not that you just show something funny. Am I passing this over to the crew? We're going to pass this around?
Yeah, we should, because we have dabs ready.
Oh, yeah, cool, here.
So we don't need all of it.
You're going to take this one first.
Okay.
This is from the Cannade, also from Hyperion Healing. This is the Nebula, I believe. Here, be careful with that. It is technically on fire. Or not on fire. We have it set at the proper temperature.
The roof.
You want to be vaporizing somewhere between 400 and 700 degrees, whatever your preference is. This here is set at about 7-Eleven because, 7-Eleven's awesome. And sometimes with these, there's a little bit less heat retention. This is for the cannabis nerds out there. By the way, we haven't even said, this is our 3rd episode, that cannabis is legal now. In California,
shit. Sorry,
like
we're high.
No, but like we're on the ball, this isn't. If you watch last season, that's like the Wild West, This new season, this is it with the.
This
times.
is the Wild Wild West, starring Will Smith.
That's another movie we could watch soon. Any other movies you want to see? Comment below. If there are enough comments on this video, I will do the Wild Wild West rap, or at least the first verse that I probably still remember. So. If you want to get wiki wild with it, let me know.
We're going straight to Wet Hot American Summer. We're still talking about it. We're here. We're on track.
But yeah, Christopher Meloni too. If there's one other thing we're going to talk about in the movie, a star-making turn for Christopher Meloni, who did probably 10 years of SVU before this, so I think coming out of nowhere to have such like an impactful comedic role. But that's what makes great comedy too, unexpectedness.
I can never say his last name, especially when I'm high, but I also love Joe Latruccio.
Yeah, an underrated star who kills it on Brooklyn Nine-Nine now. Ken Marino, also hilarious in the movie. Everyone in this movie, like you said, gives 150%. They're all awesome. Is there anyone bad we can say in the movie? I feel like this is just me kissing everyone's ass, but it's genuine. Yeah, except Blank. He was a real shitbag. No, I'm kidding. Everyone's awesome.
Someone had to have been a dick.
I mean, it's a modern classic for you and I would say.
Yeah,
and hopefully for you guys at home. So if you want to rant at us about it, or if you have complaints about what we've just said, like I feel like last week I might have like accidentally referred to a couple of pronouns wrong. So if you have complaints about that, I'm sorry. In the Paris is Burning episode.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, I don't think
as Big
I'm just saying,
says,
that's just a reason to contact us. I'm saying on Instagram or Twitter, Justin_Gentile, just Gentile on the Instagram. If you have complaints, please let me know. I'm used to it.
Don't complain at me. But if you have nice things to say, my handles on all the things are Jessica420, bro.
And I would say that that's a great way to cap it. I really wish I could have saved that for 10 more seconds. So
if you want me to make everyone watch the documentary, let me know.
Let her know.
I love you.
Thank you.